Alright, these are 3 black powder, one here, and one here. This is a black powder, this is a black powder, this is also a black powder. But they have different formula. This is CuO, this is MnO2, and this is just carbon. In fact, this is known as activated carbon or activated charcoal. Can you see activated charcoal? Yeah. So it doesn't mean that all black powders are carbon. Why? Because if I were to put carbon into this black powder into a colorless liquid, let's have a colorless liquid here. Can you see a colorless liquid? Now this liquid I bought from America when I was there. That's known as hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. The formula for hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. H2O2. Now what's going to happen is, if we try to put activated carbon inside here, okay, we try to put activated carbon inside here, there is no effervescence coming out, or rather there is very little gas coming out. There is a little bit of gas, right, but very little. Okay? But however, if we put MnO2, here, this one, inside there, you find that there will be a lot of oxygen gas that will come out. And we can test for the oxygen gas using a glowing screen. We can test it using a glowing screen. Let's make it glowing screen, right? Okay, that's a glowing screen. No, that's a burning screen. Okay. Now, if we try to test for oxygen, there is very little oxygen actually. There is very little oxygen, no more. But however, if we add this in, there will be a lot more oxygen coming out. We add this MnO2. Okay, now there is a lot of oxygen coming out here. In fact, we should keep the oxygen there. Can you see the bubble of oxygen coming out here? And now we put this glowing spleen inside. Look, okay. Yay! It bursts into flame, right? It bursts into flame. So this black powder is more effective than the other black powder in the test tube. And this black powder, MnO2, is called manganese 4 oxide. It is a catalyst for the production of oxygen from hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so in this experiment, we can see that not all black powder are carbon. They could be a compound. And secondly, we know that oxygen can be produced from hydrogen peroxide catalyzed by MnO2. MnO2 is called manganese 4 oxide. Okay, and we know that recently, because of COVID, oxygen is so very important, right? Because the lungs cannot have enough oxygen for breathing, And a lot of people suffocate to death. Actually, COVID suffocate people to death. Yeah. So oxygen is very important. Now, having said that, there are a lot of people who are talking about green, 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 everything green, right? That means you produce less carbon dioxide. That's no good for the plant because the plant needs the carbon dioxide to convert oxygen for humankind. So if you starve the plant, you don't produce enough carbon dioxide, then how the plant is going to photosynthesize? So if the plant cannot photosynthesize, then it cannot produce oxygen, then where is the oxygen going to come from? The whole mankind will starve to death. They starve the plant, and the plant do not produce oxygen, and humankind suffer because there's not enough oxygen. So the Green New Deal, they all talk about Green New Deal, right? Produce less carbon footprint. It's also no good for the greeneries and the green forests. You understand what I'm saying? Yay! Thank you.